Joining me now is former State Department spokesperson and Polaris National Security founder, Morgan Ortagus. Morgan,
hey.
Good morning. It's great to see you in person finally.
Good to be on set.
Yeah, so you were just at the border. Saw you down there with Meyer Flores. We should be clear. What do you make of these comments from KJP?
So I was down there. I took 8 Republican women candidates because we wanted to highlight the plight of what Latina women are facing at the border and really shine a light on it. It's pretty horrific stuff. I mean, the stories that we heard firsthand are tough. Listen, this is heavy for morning news. It's about women and teenage girls being raped, being trafficked. We heard about something called a rape tree, where the cartels, the smugglers, would put women's undergarments, hang them from the tree, sort of to brag about what they did. And so I think while it's a very tough subject, it's important to highlight it because this is what's happening as a result of Biden's policies at the border. And so anyone who tells you that these policies are more humane, listen, it's definitely not more humane for these women. I saw it firsthand.
Well, that's not good. I've got a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old daughter, so that's very, very concerning. When, if ever, is this administration going to wake up and realize that there is a problem?
Well, I think it's one of the reasons that they don't go, right? Why the president has never been to the border, why the vice president doesn't go to the border. Because if they do go, they're going to see what I saw firsthand. In fact, part of our delegation got video of the fence. The smugglers brought ladders up to the fence. We saw people scale the ladders, climb up the ladders, scale the fence, jump over, and then the smugglers remove them. This was during the middle of the day. I think we saw this at like 10 a.m. or something. So in the broad daylight, right? It's not like this happened at night, watching people jump over. So you started off by saying, you know, what the press secretary said. It's not like people just walk over. Well, actually, they do.
They do.
We witnessed it ourselves. Yeah. I guess to be fair, they climbed using a ladder, but you know, but they felt no threat. They were not worried about being, caught, about being detained. And by the way, neither are terrorists, right? Over 60 terrorists just this year have been apprehended at the border. These are people on the FBI terror watch list. And those are the people that we caught, right? I'm sure some more sophisticated ones have figured out not to use the fence during the broad daylight.
Well, yeah, also, Morgan, too, you know, we've seen the data now that shows that the cartels, I mean, it's not just that they're bringing Mexican nationals or those from Central and South America. They're coming from the Middle East, and they're coming from China. They're making like 50 grand a head off of people crossing that border from China. I do want to ask you about China-Taiwan, because obviously, you know, things are really escalating now. Gordon Chang, Gatestone Institute senior fellow, you know Gordon, he was on the show yesterday. He is saying, oh, wait, listen to this. He says that Americans are not paying enough attention. Listen to this.
There are a number of other instances that tell us that Xi Jinping wants to provoke a war. You know, President Biden has an obligation to talk to the American people right now about what is happening.
He's really sounding the alarm about potential war here.
Yeah, Gordon's been a friend for years. He's great on China. What is the bottom line of what we need to do as it relates to Taiwan? We have to look at Russia, Ukraine, and see the Biden administration failed in their stated goal. Their stated goal was to get Russia not to invade Ukraine, so they failed at deterrence. So how do we take those lessons towards Taiwan? So Taiwan's doing some good things. They are buying billions of dollars worth of American artillery. They are being more aggressive, but you're seeing, listen, over 60 planes entered, Chinese planes entered Taiwan's airspace, their military defense zone yesterday. You see ships coming over. The Chinese are being more aggressive. So there's a lot of posturing. So what we in the United States and like-minded allies in the Indo-Pacific and Europe, elsewhere, we have to focus on militarily supporting Taiwan so that we change the calculus. The problem in all of that is not only do we need to support Taiwan militarily, like I said, they are purchasing these billions of dollars in equipment. We're not giving it away for free, but we have to be serious about our own military. The Chinese Navy is bigger than ours right now. Biden's budget for our military does not keep up with inflation, right? So the Chinese Communist Party, Xi Jinping, all of his leaders, they see that. They know whether we're as serious as they are about Taiwan.
Well, you know, but also, too, you know, their military did shoot down a civilian drone off the coast.
The
Taiwanese did. And we are talking about more funding and more support for Taiwan, for their military. But doesn't that put us in a dangerous position with Xi Jinping? I mean, doesn't, you know, the more that we support Taiwan, obviously we want to be, you know, we're a democracy. We believe in freedom. The Chinese don't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, how far do you think that we can go in our open support of Taiwan financially, militarily, if at some point the Chinese are going to push back?
That's a great question. I think they should be scared of us and not the other way around. And that's the calculus that Biden needs to change.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Morgan, what can we do from an optics standpoint to kind of change that a little bit? Because right now it seems like optically we appear weak. Right? I mean, ever since the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, you're seeing all of our adversaries become more aggressive. What can we do? Because we've got President Biden for another 2 years.
Yeah,
what
listen,
can we do?
I was a part of the Abraham Accords team in the Trump administration. And so when the Biden team came in, we had a maximum economic pressure campaign against Iran. We handed them 4 peace deals in the Middle East, the first in 26 years. They had ultimate leverage. What did you see happen with the Biden team? Within 3 months, Hamas is attacking Israel. Within 7 months, Kabul has fallen to the Taliban. Within a year, Russia has invaded Ukraine, a major war on European soil, one that we did not think that we would see. So that's why leadership matters. I think it's incredibly important that this administration stop talking so loudly and start backing up what they're doing. We need to go back to speaking softly and carrying a big stick, because when Pelosi goes to Taiwan, okay, that's great. We've got the hashtags, but fund your military to actually make up for it, and don't stop capitulating to the Chinese. They're obsessed. This administration is obsessed with getting the Chinese Communist Party to make climate change concessions. And those climate change concessions come before the defense of Taiwan, come before talking about the genocide in Xinjiang. When's the last time you heard Tony Blinken talk about the ongoing genocide today of Muslim Uyghurs in Xinjiang?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
I haven't been talking about it at all.
Nope.
Real quick, almost out of time here, but you're going to be on this panel next week. You're hosting a panel
Yes.
with Mehmet Oz and David McCormick, who took on Oz in the primary. Real quick, tell us about that.
Well, this is a very important Senate race in Pennsylvania. Dave McCormick, West Point, combat veteran, Gulf War, national security advisor in the deputy advisor in the Bush administration. So really long national security background. We're going to pair him up with John Ratcliffe, former DNI, who I know is on this show a lot, and Dr. Oz. And we're going to spend an hour in Pittsburgh talking about all the issues that you and I just talked about.
Exactly.
Iran, China, Taiwan, really important national security issues. And so this is not going to be a campaign event. This is going to be an hour of, all the nerds watching can freak out with me. This is an hour of national security policy discussions. I think it's incredibly important. Polaris National Security is the C4 that I founded that's hosting this event.
Oh, gosh. Well, Morgan, it's great to see you as always.
Thank you.
And so much going on. Please come back. I know Marie
Anytime.
would love to see you as well.
Well, I always love being here.
Yeah.
The best show on television.
All right. Morgan, I know. And you're so good at it.